Hello folks, welcome back to Barbastella Detailing. It is spring here in Washington, which means the sun is out. It is beautiful. Winter is gone, even though it's going kicking and screaming. It is time to shed that winter sludge from your vehicles, get them cleaned up for spring and summer. It is time to vacuum. We are talking about upholstery today and my process for vacuuming, cleaning carpets, what I do to just maintain and generally upkeep the upholstery in vehicles. You don't have to get a mighty carpet extractor and do this every week or once a month. This stuff is for extreme circumstances. So if you have a normal car that you keep it relatively clean, or you just want to know how I keep them clean and get upholstery looking good in about a half hour, this is the video for you. So this is a Tesla Model S, which means it is kind of a luxury vehicle. This matters because the upholstery in these cars, much like BMWs, Audis, Mercedes, Land Rover, Cadillac, nicer cars, will have thick and plush upholstery. If you look close, this upholstery has some meat, some give, some good just thickness, plushness. That means this upholstery is going to be easier to clean and easier to keep nice over the years. This Model S has 170,000 miles. So unfortunately, this means that cars like Civics, Camrys, Corollas, Subarus, just Hondas, like more economy priced cars, the cost of building those cars is more so on a budget. So you're not going to see this thick plushness in the upholstery like you will in a luxury car. That doesn't mean that you cannot achieve good results in those cars. It just means it's going to take a little more elbow grease, maybe a little more work, and more extreme circumstances like staining will either be permanent or way more difficult to remove. But the general gist of what this video goes over still applies to these vehicles. General cleaning, general maintenance, it's all pretty much the same. It's just going to be a little bit easier with a nicer car with thicker, more plush upholstery like this. Things are just going to come out easier with carpet like this. So something to keep in mind, not all upholstery is created equal. It's not the biggest deal in the world. You can still get results with a nice car. It just is what it is. You might need another round or two of vacuuming, a little more elbow grease. It's fine. It won't be a big deal. So we are looking at this Model S. I see this car monthly, so it's never that dirty. But I wanted to assume that this is like a car you see regularly. Maybe it's really dirty. You clean it, or at least try to clean it often. What are my methods for cleaning it? Well, obviously we are using a vacuum. You don't have to use a shop vac. It doesn't have to be a rigid shop vac. I mean, worst comes to worst, you can use those little hand tools. They work good. But more so than just what vacuum we're using, which obviously the better vacuum will be better. But the vacuum isn't the showcase of this video. It's more so the tools that help the vacuum do its job. So these two things are really all I use to get carpets looking good. And we'll start with the first item here. This is a drill. It's a Makita drill. And these are brush, like cone brushes. They come in different colors, and the different colors mean different hardness of bristles. I usually just use this blue one. Sometimes I use a white one, whatever. These are like 20 bucks on Amazon, and it doesn't have to be this nice fancy drill. It can be just whatever drill your uncle's got lying in his garage. It just spins and brushes. The main peach of the crop is this tool. This will uproot embedded gunk in carpets. Things that just love to sit and dig deep in carpets. You've done it before where you've gone to the car wash, you've put in your quarters, and you try to vacuum. You get maybe half of the stuff actually out, and the rest, the vacuum just doesn't want to pull it. It's because it's embedded, and you have to not embed it. Well, it's going to get embedded, but you have to de-embed it. If you don't have a drill or a drill brush or whatever, this is the next best thing. It won't work as well, but it's just as good. And if you can combine the two, even better. This is isopropyl alcohol or just panel prep. It doesn't have to be alcohol based. That just helps it dry or evaporate. You can just have straight up water in a bottle. The point isn't what's in it. It's just the fact that it's a liquid. It's wet. We're going to do light mists on a carpet like this. Just few here. And that's it for this corner of the car. I want this light mist to not do a chemical reaction. There's not soap that's in here. Like I said, this can just be distilled water or whatever. It can just be water. I just want a liquid to create a membrane, a sort of liquid shell over that carpet. And if you look at this hair, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. It just creates these tiny bubbles that sort of create this little net of tiny liquid bubbles over the carpet. And that kind of combines everything, so they all just kind of come up with the vacuum. And it makes things coming up with the vacuum very easy. That and the fact that liquid neutralizes static charge. So if pet hair or just hair is statically stuck to your leg, to your jacket, to whatever, the liquid will neutralize the static charge and it just sucks right up in the vacuum. So I prep my corner. I also work in corners, so driver's corner, rear driver, passenger, rear passenger. You want to scoot the seats forward and back accordingly. So I will scoot this seat all the way back, do the front passenger, scoot it all the way forward, do the rear. I like to do front first, then rear, because when you clean the front, some of it kind of comes back here and then you can do it. If you do the rear first, then do the front, you'll get some kickback here and you'll have to come back and do this. So do that, then this. It's a better order. And we're just going to start with essentially round one of vacuum. Just try and get as much stuff as I can. Notice I have not used the drill brush yet. I want to get what's on the surface first. And then all the embedded stuff I'll tackle. So I'm just going in, being thorough. I'm not pressing hard. I'm not doing really anything. I'm just back and forth, letting the vacuum do the work. I'll gently go here on this corner. Now it's okay if I didn't get all of it. I also want to get around the rails. In these valleys that connect the front and rear. Look at that. If you have gloves, use your gloves. Your gloves are rubber. They can scoop up a lot of stuff. And then that, boom. See, I've got this big patch. Boom. All right, that's round one. Maybe took me 4 minutes. Looks good, huh? Looks really nice. Well, now it's time for our second round, and now that we've got all the surface stuff out, we're going to de-embed everything in there. So I'm just going to take this and just gently go around. I like to use the cone shape, get into tight spaces. Right up in there. And up these walls. See here. Wow. Look at all this stuff. This was really clean just a second ago. What happened? Well, now you got to the real stuff. All the stuff hidden under the surface. You dug it out. See, look. This was perfectly clean just a second ago. Now we're ready for round 2, and in an ideal world, this is your last round. You've de-embedded things. If you want, go for a third round. Go essentially a second time with your drill brush. You will get a little bit more, but each time you do it, you'll get less and less and less embedded stuff. Meaning you'll have cleaned out all the real underside of the carpet. And then you're done, you're clean. It'll look amazing. It'll essentially look like this. Perfect. You can see the static charge really makes it want to just stay there. It doesn't want to come out. That's why using this can help you a lot. And just like that, I mean, take a look. It's pretty clean carpet. I'm sure if I went again with the drill brush, I'd dig out more stuff. So at least here in this midsection, I'm getting nothing. Maybe on these side sections. I mean, you can see I'm barely getting anything. I got that. I got that. I've got like a few pieces that I'll just vacuum up, but that looks good. Nothing came up. This carpet is clean. So we are ready to move on. Just rinse and repeat for all 4 corners and you'll be good. A thing to note is as you do one side, you might get some bits fly all the way over here, so just double check. And when you're ready to move on, you can move on. But once you do all 4 corners, and you get good at doing this over and over, it'll be a half hour tops. It might be a little longer on cars that just don't have as nice an upholstery. It's just the way things go, but same process, same results. You should get very, very close. The way to keep your carpet this nice, if you don't have a luxury car, let's say I have a Civic and I want to keep it this nice, because obviously brand new, the carpet's going to be nice. How do I keep it that way? Rubber floor mats. The better the floor mat you have, the better it'll actually protect this upholstery, because what damages upholstery and makes it super tough to clean in the future is just abuse and damage. If you're running this raw dog with no mats, it's over. Your mats will be destroyed. A bunch of crud and pet hair and dirt and debris will just lodge and press down on the fibers and just destroy them. So floor mats of any kind are good, but rubber floor mats are also good. They are designed and laser cut to go up these sidewalls to also protect up here and keep stuff from going in and out. They will save your carpet and do a great job. The floor mats are a sacrificial layer that will keep the carpet nice. Yeah, the floor mats might get dirty and the rubber will be worn, but they're doing their job of protecting this. So if you got any questions, leave them in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Deuces.